Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Um, I want to share with you chapter 3 of the biography on Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi. And I want to start this video by sharing something with you. A friend of mine, Federica, she shared with me a link with a very powerful testimony that I have heard of, but I had not have really read the actual written paper. And she kindly shared with me, and my experience was amazing. I felt a lot of joy, a lot of energy, a lot of hope, and it opened my mind to a bigger perspective, if that. So I want to share that link with you that are um, sharing your time with me right now. And I hope it'll bring you the same emotions and sensations that I got. So I'm gonna uh, paste the link in the description box of this video, and hopefully you'll take some time to read it. It's a little long, but it's something else. So I have to share it. It's up to you if you want to read it or not. So with that being said, let me start. The previous video ended with the testimony of Grigori Grabovoi's classmate at college, whose name is Konstantin Rumaintsev. And the quote on the protocol of the practice of control, the way of salvation, as it cites, is like this: I certify by this testimony that I witnessed faculties of Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi during my studies at Tashkent University. The lecturer, Associate Professor Galina Nikolaevna Gegel, repeatedly in the presence of the whole group, after checking the control works on the mathematic analysis, expressed astonishment over the works of Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi, who wrote correct answers to the tasks immediately without making solutions. Volume 2, page 373. So, end of quote. In 1986, Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi graduated from Tashkent State University, the Department of Applied Mathematics and Mechanics with a specialty mechanics. By the decision of the State Examination Board on June 30th, 1986, he was qualified as mechanic and given a diploma, which number is 941085, for which I'm going to share with you also the link in the description box. Now, the specialty mechanics existed in the USSR, in universities, at the faculties of mathematics and mechanics, and exists today. Originally, mechanics is a branch of fundamental science in that country. So mechanics specialists can conduct research activities and engage in practical applications. Specialists in mechanics carry out their activity in the following fields: mathematical methods and computer technologies, creation of mathematical models of processes and objects, development of effective mathematical methods of solving the problems of mechanics, provision of program and management research, design, and operational and managerial activity. A graduate of the university in the Soviet time could work as a lecturer at the institute. After graduating from the university, Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi was directed by assignment to a closed design bureau in the city of Tashkent, belonging to the Ministry of General Engineering, where space technologies were developed and tested. Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi worked in Tashkent Design Bureau of Mechanical Engineering of the Ministry of General Engineering from September 23, 1986 to December 17, 1991 as an engineer, mathematician on space instrumentation. From the very beginning of his work, Grabovoi supervised his colleagues with brilliantly accurate predictions of possible difficulties in technological processes, damages and defects of the constructions developed in the design bureau. Even the smallest details were matching. The physical processes which had to be translated into the physical and mathematical model and then solved quantitatively by means of programming. Example, giving an answer to the question was calculated by Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi instead of 3 months in a couple of days, using his clairvoyance abilities. When taking part at the conference of young specialists, the Tashkent State Design Bureau on the issue of protection of satellites from continuous or pulse periodic laser radiation, Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi obtained the first place. Based on this fact, he was sent from KBM to NPO Energy. Since 1994, transformed into Rocket Space Corporation Energia. In Kaliningrad City, renamed to Korolev City of Moscow region for a conference of specialists and scientific research institutes of the Ministry of General Machine Building. At this conference, Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi took the first place in the nomination of innovational works with technologies created for the first time. Based on the submitted report during summary of the results of the conference, Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi was suggested to defend immediately his doctoral thesis in physics and mathematics without defending his candidate's thesis due to the high significance of his scientific achievements. After a while, the high executives of other state organizations paid attention to the activities of the young man and suggested carrying out an official experimental verification of his capabilities. In 1991 to 1992, for the first time in the world, Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi, by the assignment of the leadership of the National Aviation Company of Uzbekistan, carried out more than 360 psychic diagnoses and forecasts on the condition of aviation equipment, with 100% confirmation of the results of diagnosis and forecasts, taking into account the facts of severe conditions of operation of the aircraft park at Tashkent OJSC, Aircraft Repair Plant number 243, and while working with J.B. Ascon and in the Flight Safety Inspectorate of the National Aviation Company of the Republic of Uzbekistan and the All-Union Economic Association, RAMPA, R-A-M-P-A. Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi worked in the joint Uzbek-American enterprise Ascon from 18th of December 1991 until the 9th of May 1992 as the chief engineer on diagnostics of aircraft malfunctions. Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi worked in the national airlines of the Republic of Uzbekistan from May 9, 1992 until December 30th, 1993, as an engineer, inspector, on investigation of aviation accidents. He worked in Foreign Economic Society Rampa from December 30th, 1993 until March 19, 1996 as a general director. Some of this information is in the testimony that I'm going to share the link for with you. Okay, as a result of all the work carried out by Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi during that comparatively short period of time, a written testimony signed by the General Director of the National Airline of Uzbekistan, Deputy Director of the same airline, Head of the Engineering Information Center, and other experts stated the following, and I quote, "The work performed by Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi on extrasensory diagnostics of aviation equipment and technological processes is recorded in 40 acts and protocols. Purity of experimental conditions is observed. Being permanent witnesses of the experiments, we confirm the 100% accuracy of Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi's extrasensory diagnostics of techniques and technological processes. The committee considers the information obtained to be relevant to the airline's needs and recommends it to be used in the future to ensure flight safety." End of quote. This quote is on The Practice of Control, The Way of Salvation, Volume 1, page 32, backside of the sheet number 32, page 117, Publisher Soprichastnost in 1998. I'm going to give you the link for that also. The leading pilot, inspector on the safety of flights of the Uzbek Directorate of Civil Aviation, first-class pilot, the liquidator of the consequences of the accident at Chernobyl nuclear power plant in 1986, member of the Commission on Checking the Extrasensory Abilities of Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi in diagnosing the aviation equipment officially conducted by the specialists V.F. Balakirev, testified that Grabovoi is a great specialist in providing safety of transportation of passengers and cargo. Since he was a flight safety inspector, I involved Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi in investigations of air accidents, and Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi always determined without any mistake the cause of an accident. End of quote. The Practice of Control, The Way of Salvation, Volume 1, page 13. Vitaly Fyodorovich described Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi as an absolutely unique, witty person whose abilities and possibilities could be useful not only for aviation, but also for other fields of science, technology, education, religion, and security of the country. The engineer programmer of the aviation technical base of the Tashkent United Aircraft Squadron, Radik Valitov, witnessed the following extrasensory experiment of Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi. In November 1991, I asked Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi to carry out antivirus diagnostics on 20 diskettes. Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi, after a visual examination of the floppies, example, without using computer equipment or special software to detect viruses, just by eye, he identified 5 floppies infected with viruses. After the selection of the virus-infected floppies was complete, another experiment was conducted to remove viruses from a virus-infected file by rewriting the file on another floppy without using any known methods. I believe this experiment confirmed the extrasensory abilities of Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi to detect very subtle information energy links on the technical carriers of information diskettes, and to control the process of rewriting the information, cutting off the information flow of the virus. These abilities can be applied in serious information environments in the presence of artificial disturbances. End of quote. The Practice of Control, The Way of Salvation, Volume 1, page 165 through 166. Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi also worked as expert at the Center of Informational Computing Services of the National Airline of the Republic of Uzbekistan, CIVU-NAK, where during his period of work, these extrasensory diagnostics were fully confirmed. The Foreign Economic Company, RAMPA, represented by General Director Grigori Grabovoi, concluded contracts and performed works on diagnostics of aviation technology. In particular, work was carried out with the Fergana factory for repair of aviation equipment, where airplanes were delivered for repair. Grigori Petrovich came to the plant. He carried out precise diagnostics at a distance of 25 meters from the planes. On January 7, 1994, the Foreign Economic Company RAMPA, represented by the Director General Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi, signed an agreement with the National Airline of the Republic of Uzbekistan, called Uzbekistan Airways Yulari, represented by the Director General G.M. Rafikov, for joint implementation of production, commercial and other activities in the field of air transport operations, and introduction of new information technologies. The goals and objectives of this contract were introduction of new methods of support and prolongation of aviation equipment life, scientific and technical developments, experience of other airlines and enterprises of civil aviation systems, standards and recommendations of international civil aviation organizations into practice of the contracting parties, development and improvement of air transport service systems, development of priority scientific areas of activity, including non-traditional methods in aviation, the Practice of Control, The Way of Salvation, Volume 1, 1.208, Publisher Soprichastnost. June 29th, 1994, National Air Company of the Republic of Uzbekistan, called Uzbekistan Airways, hereinafter referred to as customer, represented by Director General Rafikov Ganiv Masitovich, acting on the basis of charter. From one side, an external economic company, RAMPA, hereinafter referred to as contractor, represented by Director General Grabovoi Grigori Petrovich, acting on the basis of charter. From other side, have concluded an agreement as follows. Number 1. Subject matter of the agreement. 1.1. The psychic Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi executes this contract. 1.2. Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi accepts to perform the following work. On extrasensory diagnostics of the aircraft used for the flights of the President and members of the government of the Republic of Uzbekistan. On extrasensory diagnostics of the passengers of this aircraft. 1.3. The contractor submits the work under this contract in the form of reports containing the extrasensory information of Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi. Number 2. Duties of the executor. 2.1. Psychic Grigori Petrovich Grabovoi commits himself to diagnose extrasensory aviation equipment used for flights of the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan and members of the government of the Republic of Uzbekistan for faults, defects, failures leading to disasters or human casualties. To carry out extrasensory diagnostics of passengers' health prior to flights, and if it is dangerous for the passengers to fly, to give them recommendations for preventing dangerous deterioration of health. To communicate before flights extrasensory information to representatives of the customer, and if necessary, in agreement with the customer, representatives of government agencies of the Republic of Uzbekistan. This is also in The Practice of Control, The Way of Salvation, Volume 1, page 202, Publisher Soprichastnost. So, in March 1994, Grigori Grabovoi visited India, the ancient cradle of human wisdom, at the temple of all religions, Barla Mandir is New Delhi. In New Delhi, the representative of India, Banerjee K, having pointed at Grigori Grabovoi, addressed the Supreme Priest H. Simba with a request to determine his extrasensory abilities. He answered, "There is no person in this city who could compare to him and determine his highest level. Only one man can do such a thing. His name is Baba Nagpal." End of quote. And suggested visiting him in the sacred place of India, the Chhatrapur temple, near the Qutub Minar, where people of the higher castes and the government worship. Baba Nagpal was in the temple, but the clergymen and security services did not allow an unknown visitor to see him, even at the request of Kamal Dua, the wife of India's biggest industrialist. It must be said that Baba Nagpal, who became a saint during his lifetime, personally honors his attention only to a select few. Even Rajiv Gandhi himself was granted only a 2-minute audience. And I quote, "Tell Baba Nagpal that Grigori Grabovoi is here." End of quote. Grigori Petrovich asked the guards. Despite the lunch hour, Grabovoi was immediately allowed into the holiest of the Indian temples. The conversation lasted for 23 minutes. Towards the end of the conversation, Baba Nagpal blessed Grigori Grabovoi, saying that he would pray for him, and predicted that his highest energy and psychic abilities would be used through managing the events not only for the good of his country, but for the whole world. Considering that Baba Nagpal was never wrong in his predictions, they are all interpreted in India as accurate prophecies. And this is also found in The Practice of Control, The Way of Salvation, Volume 2, page 254 through page 256. And I'm going to end this video at this point. Thank you for listening to all I had to say, to share with you. And I hope you can check the links that I'm going to share with you on this video on the description box. And I hope to see you in the next one. I send you blessings and my wish for eternal life for you and for everyone. Till the next one. Bye-bye.